Okay, we are back and we asked you in the Facebook group, have you ever taken a pay cut that was 100% worth it? Have you?
No, but...
Well, you probably did, starting a business.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a stupid answer. Yes, I have, actually, yeah. I did take a big cut.
Yeah, and was it worth it?
Time will still tell, but so far I think so, yeah.
So what we do, we're just going to play tennis. You read one, I read one.
Sounds good.
Shannon said, yes, I went from 5 days a week down to 4, roughly 25K, but the 25K loss was absolutely worth it. My mental health is so much better for it, and you can't put a price on that.
The optimistic crocodile wrote, went from shift work to normal hours, 50K per year pay cut, but I don't feel like I'm dying every week now.
Shivers, 50K a year.
But they're not dying anymore.
It's true. To be home with my kids and pick and choose when I want to work, only half the hourly rate I was on, 1,000,000% worth it, or 100,000% worth it. Worth being poor. You only live once, and they grow up so fast.
Ben wrote, went down from 5 days working to 4 days a few years ago, 20% less pay for 50% more weekend. Best decision ever.
Yep, I took a 20K pay cut after working for 2 toxic companies back to back. I worked for a lady for 5 years who built my confidence, gave me the courage to be me, then went on to apply for a job that was 70K more than what I was on, and I got it. Since I've been in this job, I've had 12K pay rise over 2 years. So that's kind of that's a good one. Going back to go forward, reset.
That's right. One step back to go 2 steps forward.
But also with even when you actually look at these, in that first question we asked, we're not taking a pay cut when we don't actually think we're going to be able to go forward from that situation in any way.
That's right.
Culture was rubbish. The vibe was rubbish. There was lower pay.
No promise of equity.
No promise of, we're just not doing that.
I moved to a role a few levels down to learn a different speciality. I was promoted twice from there within 18 months and was then making more. So that's another great example.
Yeah. Jade said, yep, I gave up working on an offshore oil and gas rig as a cleaner, 150K, to work back home again and see my family every day. 100,000% worth it.
This answer was yep. Full-time call center manager to part-time to casual to starting my own business, getting paid 2 times what I used to work half the time. Ridiculous. Get to make lunches and do kids drop-off, midday lunch with the missus here and there, bed and bath time with the kids. Come on.
Yeah, and I think it's it's okay to do this stuff, right? But you have to have a strategy in place.
So what I take from those 2 answers, it's either, like you said, you take half a step back in earnings to then go 2 or 3 steps forward.
So a progression play?
Yep, absolutely. Or the listeners have basically said, for their mental health ultimately and lifestyle, and they've gone, the amount that I'm working, it's just not worth it for my lifestyle factors. So to work less and earn less is giving me, again, progression on the lifestyle, right? To, I think it was Ben, he said, 20% less pay, but 50% more weekend.
Yeah, and I reckon this is where I strap Glenn to a trolley, tape him up and wheel him in, and he'll talk about the personal finance side of it. You really only have potential options to do this stuff if you keep out of consumer debt, you run your spending plan, and you've got a plan for your life, knowing that a short-term pay cut, and remember everyone, short-term could be 2 years. In the money world, I think anything over 4 years would be considered medium term. So let's say short term, 4 years.
Yep.
You're just being very strategic because you've got to do the you of tomorrow a favor today. And as annoying as it is, you've got to think, if I fast forward in 3 years, do I wish I was not in this situation? Or do you want to rewind 3 years ago and go, far out, if only 3 years ago I just took that lower job and a better culture, it's 3 years later I would have been here and done by now. So you've got to be active with your life. Hey, it's Glenn here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You made it to the end. Can I ask a favor? Can you hit that like button and maybe hit subscribe if you want to get notified when we release further videos just like this one, whether you watch the Money, Money, Money podcast or Retire Right. And remember, if you want to learn more about investing, I've got an investing book, The Quick Start Guide to Investing, and there's a link in the description to get your hands on a copy. Thank you so much. Bye.